Welcome to this explainer. Consider me your obsidian doctor for today. I'll be your cynical guide, your dual witness, walking you through a truly forbidden cosmic library. Together, we're going to examine the ultimate philosophical debate between existence and non-existence. It's a grim-dark fable of unmaking, of massive cosmic debt, and of incredibly defiant life.
Let me ask you something kind of chilling to start us off. What if your life, your very existence, is basically an unauthorized theft from a sleeping universe? How are you going to repay that debt? Just thinking about that drops us right into the dark, graphic novel atmosphere of a place we call the Lead Horizon.
Okay, let's dive into part 1. Welcome to Infinite Zero.
As we crack open these forbidden archives, we run into a really startling idea. What if all the messy, vibrant vitality of life, all our building and striving, was literally just a cosmic mistake, an annoying interruption of a perfect void? Well, this brings us to the Cosmic Creed. It's rooted in the 19th century philosopher Philip Meinlander's theory of a universal death drive. This philosophy of negation argues that life is basically full of deceptive illusions. In the super grim view, the resulting landscape, a perfectly flat plane of gray dust known as the Lead Horizon, is the only landscape that has never lied to you. Why? Because it is completely stripped of hope.
Part 2. The Void versus the Pulse.
Now, what's absolutely crucial to understand is the clash at the center of our fable. We've got two immortal cosmic entities going head-to-head. On one side, the gargoyle of living fire. He operates on the dead ink of negation. To him, life is a cosmic mistake. It's a borrowed debt that has to be repaid. And dissolution into nothingness is the final honesty. But opposing him is the young verdant dragon. He operates on the green script of potential. He sees life not as a mistake, but as a chaotic becoming. Sure, existence might be an unauthorized withdrawal, but for the dragon, it establishes the absolute truth of the passage.
Part 3. Emerald Fisher versus Lightning Idol.
We can actually see this intense conflict play out in two specific parables deeper in the Obsidian Index. First up, the parable of the lightning idol. Imagine a kinetic enforcer of the void, moving like lightning, aggressively unmaking any wandering spirits to harvest their borrowed debt. It's literally erasing life to expand the stillness. Opposing that, we have the parable of the emerald fisher. Picture a defiant spark completely cracking the absolute stillness of an oxidized lead world. It shatters the quiet, stretching its emerald wings to prove that potential has every right to become, even in a world of absolute deadness.
Part 4. The Inverted Hero's Journey.
To truly wrap our heads around this universe, we have to flip the traditional hero's journey completely upside down. Forget about a champion climbing a mountain to claim a glorious throne. No way. This journey pushes downward, unraveling existence right into the infinite zero. Look at how the first verdant navigated this downward path. Act 1. Abandoning the roots. You just cease the painful effort of growing altogether. Act 2. Oxidizing the scales. You let your own living scales turn to gray stone. Act 3. Exhaling a merciful fog, literally robbing the world of its will to struggle. And finally, Act 4. Welcoming the infinite zero. In this inverted journey, your ultimate prize isn't life at all. It's the realization of a totally inorganic calm.
Part 5. The Ledger of Borrowed Debt.
Which brings us to the climax in a cosmic courtroom, this hollow marketplace of ruins where the gargoyle is demanding repayment for the literal crime of existence. He unfurls this invisible ledger written in dead ink, broadcasting a leaden tongue of absolute vacancy. He is enforcing this ontoeconomic law, the ancient philosophical idea that the natural baseline of the universe is zero. So life is basically a massive financial liability. Every bit of warmth is a temporary theft from the void, and the void expects to be paid back.
But here's where it gets amazing. The young verdant dragon looks at this ledger of dead ink and flat out refuses to sign. He declares that a debt is only valid if you actually agree that existence is a crime. The dragon doesn't apologize for his warmth for a second. Instead, he treats his vitality as a deliberate, permanent, unauthorized withdrawal from the void, and he fully intends to keep it.
And this brilliantly illustrates his ultimate defense, something called the honest sound of chaotic becoming. It's a deep, pulsing emerald vibration, so incredibly powerful that it drowns out the void's mockery and literally makes the gray dust of the unmade world dance. It asserts that, sure, the silent void might be the absolute truth of the end, but his defiant pulse, that is the absolute truth of the passage.
Let's move to part 6 and see how this builds.
The Two Honest Guests.
So, what happens when these two massive forces meet at the boundary of the dead sky? Do they just fight until one is destroyed? Actually, no. They arrive at a state of co-constitutive coexistence. It's kind of like philosopher Peter Sloterdijk's theory of foams. Think of adjacent bubbles in sea foam. They share a physical wall, but inside they are entirely separate spaces. That is the final truth here. The gargoyle's silence and the dragon's noise don't actually need to destroy each other. Without the dragon's noisy vitality, the void's inorganic calm has no meaning. They define each other.
So the crucial point is that the messy light of life and the cynical shadow of death are forever walking side by side across the lead horizon. They are two honest guests. They are parallel realities sharing a wall at the edge of nothingness. And they prove that you don't actually have to defeat the void to justify your right to exist within it.
Which leaves us with a final, provocative thought. Our universe can often feel super indifferent, like it's trying to grind everything down to a flat plane of zero. But if your vitality truly is an unauthorized theft from a sleeping universe, what are you going to do with your stolen cosmic warmth today? Think about that. Go out there and embrace your own chaotic becoming. Thanks for exploring the Obsidian archives with me today.